And it's fantastic. It always is the way. So just 1 second, I'll show you in the stream. I haven't got you in the stream yet. Here you come along. Excellent. So now we've got you back in the stream. Welcome today to the Small Business Show.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime at all. Now, one of the things that you do is you've got a business, Sharify. Is that right?
Yes. So, yep, Sharify is my business, and it's all about enabling and empowering users to get the most out of their Office 365.
Fantastic. One of the things that a lot of us are guilty of is downloading different apps or different programs, and Office 365 is one of those. And we use the most basic stuff that help us get by, but we tend not to dig further than we absolutely have to, because we're not sure what benefit we're going to get from it. And from that perspective, we're really doing ourselves a great disservice. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. And that's one of the reasons why we sort of set this up, because we know that heaps of people are using Office 365, and it's normally that they're just using for their email. Send and receive email, some calendar, get a bit of mobility in there. But I think now we're up to 30-something applications within the Office 365 suite. So, and most people on a standard license will have access to all of those.
So 30 different applications.
Yep.
So what are some of the ones that we really could be using, but we're probably not?
Yeah, so I think there's a couple that really come to mind outside of Outlook and email. Everyone's already using that. It's one of the platforms called Microsoft Teams. It's certainly really focused around that, improving collaboration and productivity between your team, and that's effectively it. So it's, again, included in that Office 365 license, and essentially it serves a number of purposes, but there's probably two main ones, and that's being able to do instant messaging. So you say you've got a team and they might be working remotely, different locations. You can get that instant messaging function happening. So chat, we can do chat, which is great for quick questions, seeing if someone's available, all that sort of thing. So we can get some of that content out of email.
So being a Facebooker, why would I use Office 365 instead of Facebook for that?
Well, Facebook's public and not everyone wants to. I mean, everyone is using Facebook, but people claim that they don't want to all use Facebook. But I suppose the big thing from a business perspective is that is your corporate data. That's your business information. And you want to be able to maintain and secure that within your control. So Teams remains in your absolute control, whereas Facebook, you send an instant message on Facebook, you don't know what Facebook are actually doing with it.
You're not suggesting they're selling my data, are you?
No, not at all. And they're not listening either to your phone.
Never. So thanks for that. So great. So keeping stuff more in-house and using Messenger for that. So what else is available on Teams? What are some of the other things?
A couple of the key things where we're using Teams for is remote. So let's say video conferencing and meetings, so online meetings. So because it's tightly integrated with your Outlook, you can send a meeting request to someone, and you can enable it as a Teams meeting, and then you can collaborate remotely with anyone inside or outside of your organisation. So
they don't even have to have Office 365 for that?
No. So let's say you're a Google user, Kevin. I can send you from my Outlook, I can send you a meeting invite, and I can make it a Teams meeting. You'll get the invite, you can accept it, and then you'll be able to click on a link and open up a web page, and then we can actually have a video conference similar to this within Teams. I can share you documents that I'm working on. We can chat and collaborate on that document.
Fantastic. So how many people externally could I do that with?
I couldn't tell you the technical limit, but as long as you know their email address, you can invite them into the meeting.
Okay, cool.
So it's not it wouldn't be like a broadcast, so to speak. So everyone you invite would see the invite and who's on the invite list, but they can all join in. So as example, we had a meeting in our meeting room last week. We had 9 external people connected.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
That might solve another problem for me that I didn't even know I had yet.
So there's that, and I think the big thing with Teams is the whole enabling collaboration with your team. So this is where the productivity can come in, particularly if you've got a remote team. And we see it used a lot. A really good example is we can store a document in there. We can discuss that document, so we can have chat about that document, for example, and it saves and records that history. But more so, I can be editing that document and you can be editing that document at the same time.
Fantastic. And that was something that used to frustrate me all the time about Microsoft was, Google seemed to have that functionality years ago with their spreadsheets and their Word documents and that sort of stuff. But I didn't know that we could do that within the Microsoft environment.
You can do it all within the Microsoft suite. And you can do it with both the online version of Word, for example, or your traditional version that you've got installed on your desktop. So you get access to both. Yeah.
Fantastic. So with that functionality, does it also have, like in the past, you had to have, Office 365, then you had to have Zoom to do your meetings, then you had to have Dropbox to save your files and all that sort of stuff. So you're saying we can do away with a lot of these?
We can do away with a lot of that now. So, I mean,
that could be a huge cost.
Huge. And I mean, you're already paying for Microsoft Office now already. So if you're having lots of video conferencing with clients and things like that, you may have already purchased a Zoom license or something to support that. But you've got that function in Teams. You might be paying for Dropbox for storage, but you've got that function across multiple products in the Office suite, being Teams to share data, SharePoint, and also OneDrive. So you've got plenty of different ways you can do it and share, all within the suite. Just depends what you're trying to do.
Fantastic. So what other tools are there that we might know about?
So the other
you
might not know about. So the other one is another good one is Microsoft Planner. So Microsoft Planner. Planner. P-A-L. I can't spell. P-L-A-N-N-E-R. Planner, as in plan.
Yeah.
Plan. Yep. So Microsoft Planner is a task management system for your team. So you might be familiar with Trello or Asana, Monday.com, those sort of platforms. They've all got their pros and cons, but Planner, again, included in your 365 license, allows you to create projects and tasks and assign them to your team, so they can track and manage what needs to be done and where. Set your due dates, attach documents that you've got up there. So again, it's all within that suite and saved there. So it allows you to then, a task management system.
Fantastic. Can we set up rolling tasks in that? So, for instance, if you've got a staff member that should be doing, A, B, and C throughout every Monday and doing, A, D, and F on Tuesday, can you set it so that it sets up that sort of checklist for them?
No, it's not as advanced as some of those others at the moment. And I say at the moment because the amount of development that Microsoft are pushing through all their platforms is quite insane. So there's always changes and updates, but I know for a fact that's not in there yet.
So while I was complaining about spending my $15 a month, I really shouldn't be. I should be exploring the things that we could be getting.
Yeah, and look, as I say, there's like 30 different apps in there, and some things will work exceptionally well for what you're trying to do. Others, you will find better products, but it's really doing that analysis yourself and just getting a feel for it, because what we see happening is people going and spending money with Trello or Asana, but they only need a basic task management system in that sort of board-based module, and Planner does that out of the box. So it's good to explore these things and just get an understanding of what's there.
Yep. So what would be the next most common thing that people, or the greatest time saver that people could use?
That's a good one. Time saver. I've just ticked them all off. No. So another one we actually see quite well, and this comes from if you're in a business of wanting to collect information from your customers, and it might be a quick survey or a feedback form or something like that. Within Office, you've got Microsoft Forms, and this allows you to create very, very customized forms to collect information, and it might be a checkbox, it might be radio buttons, it might be questions and answer, whatever it is. So you can send that out either privately to an individual and you'll know who's filled it out, or you can publish it as a public survey, for example, and gather information, again, all into Office 365. There's some basic reporting. You can then extract that data out and manage it the way you want. So we've got Microsoft Forms there.
Well, that tell me if I've got a Microsoft form that I've sent to you as an example, if you haven't completed that, can I set it up so I get a reminder to?
No, again, it's a basic form function, so not an advanced thing, but it's about, so we use it extensively when we're doing surveys with clients. It's about, okay, just we're finishing a project or we're finishing something and we just want to get some feedback across 50, 100 users. We can send out this form and then we can watch the results come in.
Fantastic. So so we've got Microsoft Form, Microsoft Planner, Teams.
Microsoft Teams is a good one. Now, one thing I will say is that Microsoft Teams allows you to bring all these applications into one view as well. So you can run Planner, you can run Form, you can run OneNote, which I'll touch on next, but you can have all these visible within your Teams environment. So literally Teams can become that single point for you to start your day.
Awesome. So what was that other one that you just mentioned?
Microsoft OneNote.
OneNote.
So I feel that OneNote is probably the most underrated tool in the suite. So OneNote is, you might be familiar with Evernote.
Yep.
Another Evernote is a good comparison. It's essentially a note-taking system where you can either type in your notes. You can, if you've got a smart tablet like a Surface or something like that, you can actually use your pen and you can hand write into your OneNotes. You can create multiple OneNotes and you can do pretty much everything. Record video, record audio, and save all that information in a single spot.
Record video.
Yeah, so in the OneNote, you can record a video and save it in there.
So a high quality, high def video, or is it just really basic?
Oh, it's whatever your camera will support in your device. So it might be, again, we see it used a lot with people. They're doing walkarounds, so like maybe some site inspections and stuff like that. And they just want to keep all their data together during that process. So they'll be taking notes in their OneNote. They'll then take a photo of something and save that in their note. They might take a video and do a walk around and save that in the OneNote. So it's about getting all this disparate information that you might be working on and bringing it into one location so you can then do what you need to do with it. Very handy.
Yeah, so would we then be, so if somebody's just starting to do things like Facebook Lives or doing short little instructional videos and raising their profile using that, could they record it there in OneNote and then export it so they could edit?
You can export it for edit, but I'll touch on the next one that's even better for video stuff. So yeah.
Well, let's go
which is Microsoft Stream. Again, included in the suite. So Microsoft Stream, consider Microsoft Stream your internal corporate YouTube. So you'll use YouTube to publish videos externally and make them visible and public and stuff like that. But you might have training material, as you mentioned, which is really important in a business where you might have tutorials or inductions or something. You can record those with your computer with a traditional whatever tool you want to use. It might be a Camtasia or whatever's built in. You can save and edit, and then you publish that video to Microsoft Stream, and it becomes accessible to your entire team as a video that they can watch, and it can be stored there. Now, one of the really cool features of Microsoft Stream is that every video that you publish into Stream, Microsoft will actually go through and they will transcribe it for you on the fly.
Fantastic. So there's a whole new, like I thought that I was really bad at marketing stuff, but it looks like Microsoft are actually worse than me.
Oh, they're horrible at marketing it.
They're already giving me all this stuff, which is truly awesome, and yet I didn't know.
Did not know it was there.
No,
and because part of the challenge, you don't have the time to go through and check and test and find all these things. So unless someone's telling you about it, you're really not gonna know. But
And I'm imagining that what we've talked about today is really just scratching the surface. As you said, there's 30 apps that you've got there, and today we've talked about three
or four.
3 or 4. So with that, have you got? How do we get across all of this? How can we find out what's there?
Well, I mean, your first step is go to your Microsoft Office 365 homepage, which will be portal.office.com. And then on the top left-hand side, you've got I'm just looking at it now, you've got a little button with 9 dots on it. If you click that, and this will be available to anyone, you'll actually get a list of all the applications that are available to you. So that's a good starting point to have a look and see what's there. You'll see all the traditional online apps like Word and Excel and PowerPoint. So there you can use all those in a browser, Edge, Chrome, Firefox, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then you'll see all the other components there as well. So that's a great starting point for anybody to have a play with the stuff.
Fantastic. And do you provide any education on this and help people with it?
Yeah, so I mean that's the Sharify business. So what we do is we're constantly creating tailored videos or more specific videos and content and training material. So people using Office 365 can get to know what's there, and then when they find something, they can drill down through the training to get a better understanding of how to use it in their business. So that's a big part of our subscription service there. It's about giving people that education around what else they can do with it, and then start to leverage it in their business, because that's where the power comes from.
Absolutely. To me, it's all about time saving. It's all about, look, and even what you've mentioned there, that could cut out literally hundreds of dollars a month for me in additional subscriptions that I've got running to do some of the stuff that you're just talking about now. So I definitely need to be considering more. You mentioned to me before, while we were trying to get the technology working this morning, that you've got something coming up next week.
Oh, yes. So we've got an event next week, which I should probably share the link. That'd be very helpful at some point. And we're doing essentially it's a free lunch and learn event in Brisbane, and it'll be a deep dive into the day in a life of a Microsoft 365 user in a business. So we're going to go through different scenarios and where people are using the Office 365 tools in their day-to-day life as a business. So we're looking at not only the functional components like Teams and that sort of stuff. We'll touch on the security elements, so how Microsoft are able to secure everything that you're doing as well, which again leads to increased productivity to your business, because you can do a lot more if you can secure your data more effectively.
Absolutely.
So that's Thursday at 12 o'clock. In Spring Hill, so I'll get you a link and we can get that up for anyone watching.
So that's a physical thing. So you won't have any technical issues?
No technical. We're doing it live, so I'm sure there will be technical issues.
So people can just stream in?
No, for this first one, it's a hands-on come to the event scenario. Obviously, with what's happening in current circumstances, our next ones will probably move to a more streamed event, just because there's a few concerns around. But again,
everybody a bit concerned about it, about moving out in public, and I get that. Hey, we've got to start publicising that in Brisbane small business, because we are the safest, largest network of business owners in Brisbane. And
then use the power of Office 365, and you don't actually have to ever leave your office.
That's it.
Which I don't recommend. But yeah.
You all might get a little bit lonely, but, we'll eventually have to go down the road to get toilet. Oh, we can't do that.
No, I can't get toilet paper.
Look, Tom, thanks so much for your time today. I will get you to put a link both in this stream, but also make sure the event is in the directory, because
yes, I'll get that up there today. I keep forgetting about it, but I should use it.
We can only share the events that are put in there. We're not mind readers here. So thanks very much for your time today. I really do appreciate it. It's been wonderfully, inspirational to me, and learn a whole lot already. Potentially save me thousands of dollars a year, just out of 20-minute chat with you, that I had no idea where it was going. So that's fantastic. Thanks very much for your time today, Tom.
No problems, Kevin. Thank you.
I really do appreciate it.
Anytime.
Thanks, mate.
See ya.
And thanks for